Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to The Tangent. It is episode 16, I think, and I cannot believe that we are already a month into 2025, and the fact that it's February is wild to me. So I think we should talk about how we are managing life right now. I want to chat a little bit about the strategies and systems I'm using and how I feel like they're working for me. And if you're in similar boats, yay, welcome to the chaos and let's get into it. Buckle up, lovelies. We're taking a ride through some of the quirkiest corners of my life on wheels. I'm Katie, and I've been doing this disabled thing since day one. This is not your typical disability education podcast. Every tangent, every detour is a chance to look behind that curtain of disabled life, unravel the threads of confusion, and discover those, whoa, that actually makes sense moments. Eventually, this is the tangent, where laughter is the map, curiosity is the compass, and understanding blooms even in the craziest corners. Hit subscribe, grab your headphones, and get ready to be surprised, because the way to understand why is to embrace the wild, hilarious how. So let's do the thing. Okay, so before I get into any of the things that I'm doing and what's happening, I just need to do a quick disclaimer that I realized when I was planning this episode that I mentioned a lot of different people and a lot of different tools that I am using, and just so you know, none of this is sponsored. I'm just sharing what I'm doing and certain things that I love and that I've found and what works for me. So all of that being said, let's get into how I'm figuring out how to manage my life. So I think on a practical level, my life is super logistical. I'm a severely disabled person, and so lots of logistics, lots of planning, and lots of people are involved in anything that I do. So that's my life in an actual organizing way. It's quite complex in a lot of scenarios. But then we have to look also emotionally. So I like plans and order, and I realize that my life is generally chaotic, but I like knowing what's going on within the chaos. I think a lot of that is probably just anxiety driven, and I'm really working hard on letting things go with the flow. I'm not good at it yet. I remember there was a video where this woman was at TikTok, I think, and she says, I can go with the flow if we are planning to go with the flow, which I think is really where I'm at this moment. But I think the go with the flow thing in my life is kind of balanced a little bit with the not caring so much that happens and that comes with depression episodes. This is not a great strategy, I realize, but it's sometimes the go-to, and we are always a work in progress. And then at another level, I am a Virgo, which some people don't believe in that stuff, but I really think that there's some truth to the star signs. So I love building systems and creating them and thinking about them and giving all the little beautiful details, but I'm not always great at following through and actually practicing those systems and implementing them. So we're working on that as well. But this year I really wanted to kind of ease into things, and that just didn't happen. It's really felt quite frantic, and I haven't been able to yet find my groove and settle into it. So we're trying to just do that in February now. It was the plan to do that in January, but like things went awry, people. So it's a new mission for February. I don't know how many people have this problem, but I feel like it is more than a few, and I have a bit of an obsession with stationery. And if that's you, hi friend. And it's funny because actually, like, one of my besties, she literally like coerced me into booking like my first therapy session because she told me that I can get new notebooks and like do work in them, which is like beautiful. Thank you, friend, for getting me into therapy, because that was a great life decision. But the notebooks, guys, I I think I have a problem, but I think it's okay. We are working on many things, but I love them so much, and I always have way too many of them, and they all have different purposes. And I've recently realized that it's a little bit too overwhelming to have that many notebooks, and then because I'm overwhelmed with how many there are, I can't get anything done. Also because I have been too specific with myself about what the purpose of that particular notebook is, and then I can't write in it for anything else. So that probably sounds insane to a lot of people, but if you're a stationery girly like me, I see you, and the struggle is real. So I have been working on limiting these now and how many notebooks I actually like actively need, and I'm working to be more intentional and more focused and streamlined with that. I also think it's important to mention right now that I went down this rabbit hole and realized that I am not a minimalist in any way, and so I went down the path of like watching all the minimalist things and like figuring out how to live with less, and I'm just not a person that gels with, and so I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I'm just gonna embrace that that's not a path for me, and work on figuring out other pathways that align better with how I exist and how I work. So, in terms of the system that I'm currently trying to build, right, I think that it's really great to take ideas from all over the show. So, I started with bullet journaling. I've done that like a couple of times, and I love the principles of bullet journaling, but I have an issue because I tend to like be super committed to it for at the beginning of a year, and then by the time we get to May, I just don't have the energy anymore to make the beautiful pages, and then I have made beautiful pages, and then I feel bad for not wanting to make beautiful pages anymore and just have them be productive and like work, and so I just give up on the bullet journal, and then I don't have a system. So love that for me. There are also other books that I've read, for habits and productivity and health and wellness and like mental health things. So I'm taking little things from all over the place and building my own system, and I think that that's really actually an important way to move forward with it. You have to build what works for you, and it doesn't have to be applying an entire system. it has to be uniquely suited to you and your specific life needs and like the quests that you want to go on for the year or the month or whatever. So I really love talking about these things and like putting it all together. So like if I hope that you're still with me, and I'm gonna try to be really succinct with these and not go down too many rabbit holes, but we shall see. So the actual system that I'm working with right now, I think there are like 5 things that I can talk about here. So I'm gonna go through them super quickly and kind of see how we got to where we are and how they're working for me in this minute. So one of the big things is theme days. I learned this from Louise Henry. I love her so much. I'm obsessed with her. I think that our brains work in similar ways, and I've done a couple courses with her, and so yay, Louise Henry, I love you so much. I love the theme days thing. I tried time blocking and that really didn't work for me. I think it's too prescriptive and it really stressed me out a lot if I wasn't exactly working to that time. So theme days work for me because it's kind of more flexible and it still has structure. Like it's structured enough for me to get things done but not feel guilty about not getting them done exactly when I planned to, because days kind of don't always work out the way that you plan them to. So theme days, guys. And I always do my planning on Mondays because Monday I have allocated as a slow admin day. So it's a no pressure or low pressure way of sorting out my life to get things going and together. And then Tuesdays are quick win days so that I can build some momentum for like success at the beginning of the week and go into the more hardcore things on the later days in the week. So I've sort of worked it out with my energy levels and it tends to work out well for me. So yay, theme days. And then I found Matt Ragland and he does Gap and Rap reviews. He does them weekly, but that doesn't really work for me. It got overwhelming, and then I tried to do it fortnightly, and then I would just kind of forget about doing it every 2 weeks because my life doesn't really work in 2-week blocks. So I've settled on doing it monthly, and like that's kind of working for me. It's enough time for things to happen and also like time efficient because doing the Gap and Rap reviews like takes time. So I feel better about it being a monthly thing because then it's dedicated and there's enough kind of to talk about. If you don't know what Gap and Rap is, just quickly, like, so rap, it's all, what are they called? Like, it's not an anagram. Oh my gosh, acronyms, I think. Let's go with that. So, rap is representing, like, wins, results. Oh my gosh, what is the A? Oh, alignment and then pivot. So you kind of figure out, are you actually on track with what you planned to do? What were you successful with this week? And like kind of how well did we do with the plan? And then Gap is specifically for goals. Like what is the specific goal that you're looking at? What are the action steps that you can take to get to that goal being achieved? And then what the P is for protection, and so like that's about time. When are you actually planning to do that thing? So that's kind of the gap and rap. I really like it because they flow nicely together, and it's a good like reflective practice, I think. Yes, and I think I for a while was worried about like how am I actually gonna do these things? Where does everything go? And I follow Rochelle in Theory. She does productivity support videos and stuff. Love her because she's also like, sometimes all over the place and has like shit doesn't always work out. And I think the productivity people are like, this is the best system, and they don't really always tell you when it's not happening so well. So I love her for that. So she made a thing that was about combination planning, and I was very like, how do I do all of these things in like physical or digital ways? Like I thought that was a binary, but it's not. So we are very much allowed to have digital systems and physical systems and make them work together and be productive with both. And Michelle had a really cool thing a while ago where she speaks about planning twice to do it once, and I like that. So it's like you do the on paper brain dumping planning, and then you can put all of that stuff into a digital system that can remind you to do that stuff. So I think that works really well for me. And all of these things happen like in my Asana. I love Asana so much. I'm learning how to use it more effectively, so that I can get more shit done. And then last year I read a book called Slow Productivity by Cal Newport, and this book was amazing. Changed my whole brain, and I'm taking a few of his ideas and trying to implement them into my existence. The biggest one is like I tried this out, and I did it for like a week. I planned for a week, and the way that it works is like you have your active tasks, which is no more than 3 things, and then you have your holding tank, which is everything else. And I kind of had like 4 big things because I did like my work stuff and then personal stuff. I found a loophole. By the Tuesday, I had done 3 of the big like active task things, and I didn't really know how to process that level of productivity with myself. So I think the system works. I just need to be more chill about like achieving things and not panicking that I'm being overproductive. Is that a thing? Being overproductive? That's not a thing, Katie. It's just me getting shit done. We can celebrate that, and we can be super productive humans without feeling like there is something wrong with us. Okay, so that was an amazing book. Super recommended. Go read that book. I'm obsessed with it. And then I kind of realized that I was getting things done and not like putting them anywhere. And then I feel like I haven't done anything. So I needed a way to track what I was doing that wasn't super admin heavy and didn't like really distract me from what I was doing and getting more things done. So for work, for context also, I work with my mom. My mom is the CEO of the Katie campaign, where I do the relationships and funding stuff. So for work, I say like it's super simple. It doesn't always have to be complicated, guys. So I send a weekly overview email to my mom, and in that email, I literally have like bullet points and like shit that I did this week, and it can be like sending a proposal or writing an email or like contacting a person, so that I have that reference for myself. She doesn't read these emails, or she's not like, I don't expect her to read the emails. I'm just like, I'm sending this to you. so that it's somewhere and I can reference it later in reports or like put it into my actual life plan, so I know what I'm doing and I know like what I've done. Also, because they say that sometimes you don't need a to-do list, you need to make a done list so you feel good about yourself. So that's kind of all the things that I have. And as like a bit of a summary, I guess, I use Asana for everything. Now, I do kind of fall off that wagon sometimes, and then I have to get myself back on and re-add things, but like, I really like how it automates like morning routines and stuff, and I can have like a million tasks happening, but they don't feel overwhelming because I've scheduled them. So I love that for me. I have multiple notebooks and journals, but they are minimized now. So I have 2 that I use every day. I have a manifesting journal and a 5-year journal, like the one that you have, like, you write like what happened today and it's all in one place for 5 years. Love that. It's gonna be so good when I get to 5 years from now and all of the things are recorded. And then I have like my Gap and Wrap review thing and my monthly edit planner. I got that from Alexity. Love those people so much. And they didn't do a planner for 2024, and I was like, what am I supposed to do, people? I have to build a whole new thing. Anyway, they're back now, and I'm super excited about that. So, yay. So those are like monthly things. And then I have 2 standard journals. One that is for like general brain dumping and planning and thinking. And one is for like my actual business planning stuff. So they are separate. But it's only 2 notebooks, guys. 3 notebooks. 3 notebooks in a journal. Don't judge me. I'm working on it. And then I had this realization that like I have journaling as part of like my mental health and my therapy stuff, but I sometimes didn't have the energy to actually write in the journal. So that for me, I found digital journaling easier, and I used day one journals for that. So like, I'm saving energy, but I'm still doing the work. I'm just typing. It's encrypted, so it's just mine on a different platform. I hope that all of that made sense. It did feel a little bit haphazard, going all over the place, and like, welcome to my brain and how we get things done, but like, sometimes it's an extended process, you guys. But in closing, I just wanted to kind of say a few things. I think one of the things that I built into my system that I didn't have before, which I think was derailing me, was that I didn't plan to fail at any of the things that I did. So now I've included failure in my plans, and not like failing at the big goals. It's like, it's failing to do all the little things every single day. I'm making great space and having grace with myself, that if I don't like do my Duolingo lesson for a day or 2, the world is not going to collapse around me. So like, it's that kind of grace. So I'm avoiding perfectionism and I'm planning for failure, because then I'm acknowledging that I'm not going to achieve everything every day, and it's okay to drop some plates and to lose your radar sometimes. So if you plan for it and you can be compassionate and have grace with yourself, I feel like we're gonna get further than if I'm just like, oh my goodness, I didn't do my 5 daily routine things, I'm a piece of shit. You know? We have to block those like messages with positive ones. I also think that I've often found myself getting caught in the web that is productivity content online. Like, we spend so much time learning about other people's productivity systems and learning everything there is to learn about bullet journaling and slow productivity and all these things that we actually don't end up doing the systems. We just know how they work now. My message to myself, that I hope makes sense for others, is like, just start something. Like, if you're kind of leaning towards something in a system, just kind of test it out and see how it sits with you. Because it's gotta flow and it's gotta feel good and it's gotta like feed your motivation stations so that the systems actually work. Because if we have all these systems and they don't sit nicely with us, they're not really useful and we've wasted our time. So that's my kind of takeaway. But the last two things I want to say is, I think that we have to build a system that works for us, but we need to work and learn our system so well that we can sync it with other people and figure out how to like integrate or collaborate with other people who use different systems to us without derailing how we work best. And I think that that's an ongoing process. Working with myself as somebody that really loves strategies that are efficient and work really fast and are energy saving, working with somebody who prefers to take the long route. Like, that's really difficult for me. And we need to work on it. And we shall. The ultimate thing is, we can be productive and be committed to being productive, but we also need to remember to make space to take care of ourselves as well while we do that process. I love systems. If you have cool systems, let me know what they are. If they're different to mine, I love learning about them. So let me know in the comments. Share yours. Share things that didn't work. I am excited to learn alongside you, and let's get productive, people. And I will see you in the next one.